हरे कृष्णा करुणामूर्ति प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
So just 1 minute, bro.
ओके प्रभु, नो प्रॉब्लम।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा डिवोटीज, दंडवत प्रणाम। Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Karunamurthy Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 5, chapter number 18, sloka number 13. Prabhuji, over to you.
Thank you, Panch. Hare Krishna. I think my screen is visible to the devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistake. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha. Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the Vaishnavas, devotees, for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambudvipa. Text 13. हरिर्हि साक्षात् भगवान् शरीरिणाम् आत्मा जशानाम् यवतोऽयमीप्सितम् हित्वा महांस्तं यदि सज्जते गृहे तदा महत्त्वं वयसा दम्पतीनाम्. Read word to word meaning and translation. Arihi, the Lord, He, certainly, Sakshat, directly, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Saririnam, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies, Atma, the life and soul, Jashana, the aquatics, Iva, like Toyam, the vast water, Ipshitam is desired, Hitva, giving up, Mahan, a great personality, Tam, him, Yadi, if Sajjate becomes attached, Grihe to the household life, Tada, at that time, Mahatvam, greatness, Vayasa, by age, Dampati Nam, of the aspirant wife. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: just as aquatics always desire to remain in the vast mass of water, all conditioned living entities naturally desire to remain in the vast existence of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, if someone very great by material calculations failed to take shelter of the Supreme Soul, but instead becomes attached to material household life, his greatness is like that of a young low class couple. One who is too attached to material life loses all good spiritual qualities. Purport. Although crocodiles are very fierce animals, they are powerless when they venture out of water onto land. When they are out of water, they cannot exhibit their original power. Similarly, all pervading Super Soul, Paramatma, is the source of all living entities, and all living entities are part and parcel of Him. When the living entity remains in contact with all pervading Vasudeva, the personality of God, he manifests his spiritual power. Exactly as a crocodile exhibits his strength in the water. In other words, the greatness of living entity can be perceived when he is in the spiritual world, engaged in spiritual activities. Many householders, although well educated in knowledge of the Vedas, become attached to family life. They are compared to herein to crocodile out of water, for they are devoid of all spiritual strength. Their greatness is like that of a young husband and wife who, though uneducated, praise one another and become attracted to their own temporary beauty. This kind of greatness is appreciated only by low class men with no qualifications. Therefore, everyone should therefore seek the shelter of the super soul, the source of all living entities. No one should waste his time in the so called happiness of materialistic household life. In the Vedic civilization, this type of crippled life is allowed only until one's 50th year, when one must give up family life and enter the order of Vanaprastha, which is independent, retired life for cultivation of spiritual knowledge, or sannyasa, the renounced order, in which one completely takes shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpataro Vishya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. It's a wonderful uh, section. The prayers offered to the Lord by the residents of Jambu Dvipa. Wonderful purport Prabhupada is mentioning. How one should seek shelter of the Lord, giving up our what are so-called attachments in this world. So this sloka comes, this is part of Prahlada's prayer in the Harivamsha to Lord Narasimhadev. We have been studying, I think, from 6th onwards, I think, till next one more sloka also. Says, Arehi Sakshat Bhagavan Saririnam. Harihi Sakshat, the Lord, Harihi, is the soul of all embedded living beings. Sakshat Bhagavan Saririnam, those who have bodies, for them, the Supreme Lord is the soul in that. Atma Jashanam Ivatoi Mepshitam. Just as Jasha here is, Jashanam is the aquatics. Atma Jashanam, for aquatics, the soul is, or the life is, Toyam, the water. Here it is fish or crocodile. In the purport or in the translation is Atma Jashanam Evatoyam Epshitam. Just as a water is life of the fish. Hitva Mahamstam Yadi Sajjate Grihe. If a person gives up the Lord, Hitva Mahamsam Yadi Sajjate Grihe, and becomes attached to his house, Grihe, Sajjate Grihe. So for such a people, Tada Mahatvams Vayasa Dampatinam. What is their greatness? His only greatness is the time when a youthful, that means in the young age, manifests in a between a husband and wife when they are young. So whatever the great activities they do, only that is the great. There is nothing else. That is what this verse is talking about. So the context here is the prayers to the Lord by the residents of Jambudvipa. And in this chapter, there are 6 what do you call the Varshas, or in the Jambudvipa, 6 Varshas, and personalities in those 6 Varshas, what prayers they are offered, it is mentioned. Already we have studied Hayashira, prayers to Hayashira, Lord Arshira by Bhadrashava in Bhadrashava Varsha. So Varsha means a place between 2 mountain peaks, Varsha or Ganda. So just like in the Earth planet, there are 7 Kandas, 7 divided by 7 oceans. Similarly, in the space also, these dvipas are divided. Jambu Dvipa, all those different dvipas. So here, particular in this verse, it is Prahlad Maharaj in the Hari Varsha offering praise to Lord Narsimha. And there are next comes praise to Kamadeva by Mother Lakshmi in the Ketumala Varsha, and of praise to Matsya by Vaivaswata Manu in Ramyaka Varsha, and praise to Kurma by Aryama in Hiranmaya Varsha, and the last is praise to Lord Varaha by Earth, Bhumi, in Uttar Kuru Varsha. So this is mentioned in this chapter. The few words which are important in this verse is Jashana, the aquatics, which is what Prabhupada is comparing in the purport to the living entities in this world who are attached in the household life or in any ashram, it doesn't matter, not just household life. Even in sometimes in the renounced order also people get attached. So we'll see that. Especially they have a power, just like although crocodiles are very fierce animals, they are powerless when they venture out of the water onto the land. Just like fishes, if they come onto the shore from the river bank or a lake or the ocean, so we have seen sometimes if they come out, it's so difficult to go inside. The fishes or tortoise, they struggle because every time the waves come and push them away outside towards the bank or the shore. Once they come out, it becomes difficult for them to go again inside. They need somebody's help. So here, the crocodiles are compared. They have a lot of power, just like we have seen power of crocodile in 8th canto, Gajendra's pastime. So thousands of years he was struggling, Gajendra, though powerful, so huge, but still he was not able to overpower crocodile because the crocodile was in the water. They're very nice, and the purport Prabhupada mentions how a devotee should be like in their own particular platform where they can fight the war from that platform where it is suitable for them, where they get nourishment. So, if in that case, in that situation, Gajendra, if crocodile was outside the water, if it was out of the water, and then Gajendra comes, then we might not have prayers of Gajendra. We might have had prayers of crocodile, because crocodile would not have that much power on the land. So here Prabhupada is comparing that to the devotees, though they have knowledge, the where it says therefore, if someone very great by mental calculations, somewhere in the purport it comes. Many householders, although well educated in knowledge of Vedas, become attached to family life. They are compared to hearing the crocodiles out of water. So that means devotees, those who are having knowledge, they have a lot of power to conquer, to save so many people. But if we become like the crocodile or the aquatics, come out of our source of nourishment, so that is, so our source of nourishment is our Prabhupada mentions that we get spiritual strength from strictly following the regulative principles and chanting our daily minimum 16 rounds quality sadhana, and regularly Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the devotees and serving Vaishnavas. If we are doing this, then we are getting nourishment. Then we can go and give it to others also. But otherwise, if you are getting away from this source of nourishment, that means source of strength, just like for the aquatics, the source of nourishment or strength is if they are deep in the waters. But if they come out the shore, then they become weak. The Bhagavatam says they are off dead in the 10th canto, in the autumnal season. There it is mentioned about the fishes. There are some types of fishes who gives of water and wanders on the bank looking for pleasures, because sometimes there are some footsteps, dead things which is lying on the shore or just border of the shore in the water. They go to catch. they go to eat. So, but they forget that they're not aware that they're actually in dangerous position because the waves sometimes go fast, leaving that fish on the shore, and without water they dry. Or sometimes in the rainy season, uh, water is there, but after some time the water keeps drying up slowly. The fishes, they don't understand that water is drying up, they don't go deep into the lake or where the water is more. They still, I have seen some places in the river where the water, in the small puddle, there are fishes there remaining because they have not gone in the mainstream, the deep waters. They remain there and the water got separated, it dried up, and there it's easy to, they become easy prey for, if somebody comes for catching fishes or any other birds, they can easily catch. So there's some, it's mentioned in 10th canto, 20th chapter, verse 37. Jalangada jale charaha yatayur anvaham kshayam naramuda kutumbinaha. So they give up the waters, deep waters, and come to the bank looking for pleasure, and they ends up already almost half dead. The fish swimming in increasingly shallow water did not at all understand that the water was diminishing, just as a foolish materialist man cannot see how the they have time what they have left to live is diminishing, passing every day. So every day, by passing of time, one is getting closer to death. So what Prabhupada is saying here is that, so they have, the devotees who have knowledge, who has understood, who have studied, so they should not be wasting their time and becoming victim to the material enjoyment, in terms of becoming loose in our taking nourishment, daily nourishment of our strictly following the regulative principles, reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, and associating with the devotees, serving Vaishnavas. If that becomes dwindle, then our strength also will become decline. And in the purport, again, Prabhupada says, so what should we do? Everyone should therefore seek shelter of the super soul, the source of all living entities, and who is the nourisher. No one should waste one's life in the so-called happiness of materialistic life. It could be anywhere. In the Vedic civilization, this type of life, this type of crippled life is allowed only until one's 50th year. So that means Prabhupada is mentioning here that devotees come to the retirement, vanaprastha life or sannyas, Prabhupada is mentioning, especially those who have crossed 50, so they have to plan. So thing is, how it will happen is, unless because mere artificial renunciation is not recommended, because that will only cause disturbance in the society or to the individual also. But one has to seek the shelter of the super soul. That means we have to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, where we get nourishment, strength. So we'll see that how we take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And but in this series of these 4-5 verses, Prahlad Maharaj is pointing out, mentioning that the shelter of Lord is possible. We can only understand the Lord only through devotees, by taking shelter of devotees. That's what the previous verse also mentions in this chapter. So when we are in touch with the Lord, That's in the purport says, when the living entity remains in contact with the all-pervading Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, he manifests his spiritual power, exactly like a crocodile exhibits its strength in the water. So then the devotees, all of us, when we are in touch with the Supreme Lord through the association of devotees and all other, whatever Prabhupada has given the facilities, the culture in ISKCON, if we are regularly in touch with that, then we are in deep waters. Crocodile, we have enough power. But otherwise, we become weak. So we have to have our spiritual engagements by which we get our spiritual nourishment or strength. Otherwise, we have our life will be like just like Kailash. We heard the story of Kailash. He was postponing his shelter or surrender to Lord. So he had so much of his wealth. So Narada Muni and Kailash, that interaction, I think all of us know this story, which depicts the postponing surrender to Lord. Very graphically, it is mentioned in that story of Kailash. So at last, so Narada Muni has to take a very strong step. Of course, there he devised a plan to make him, when he became even the dog also, sorry, the snake. So he told his sons to kill that snake. So such is the power of material attachment with despite devoid of Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj also tells in Bhagavatam, 7th canto, that so we have in this world, especially in Kali Yuga, tendency to postpone. बाद में करेंगे, so we can do it. So we have time, we can do it. So we can study, we can hear later. So like that, time keeps going. So it won't wait for anybody. Because time imperceptibly steals away our entire life. Ayur Arati Vaipamsam. So, and Maya will never tell us, allow us to tell us that now is the time to surrender, because Maya will always have so many other, keeps bringing some or other, some engagements to us and make us trapped in that, because Maya is very powerful. It's very difficult to overcome Maya. So what should we do then? So we have to give up this avastava vastu, attachment to avastava vastu, the temporary material things of this world, in whatever form it may be. And we have to seek the shelter of vastava vastu, that is a real object, which Prabhupada is mentioning here is. Be in touch with that Vasudeva, the super soul. So that's why everyone should therefore seek shelter of the super soul, the source of all living entities. So no one should waste his time in the so-called happiness of this materialistic or soul life. So how do we take shelter of Krishna then? The easiest way to take shelter of Krishna is by associating with his devotees. That's what is Prahlad Maharaj also telling in this chapter, and also in the 9th chapter of 7th canto. We'll see that. Because by associating with sadhus have the power. Their their words have the power to cut our attachments. And the Ayala Gita, Krishna is saying, Bhagavatam says, sadhu cuts the material attachments, the avastava vatsus. Very nice verse, 11th canto 11, 26, 26. Says that Tato dussangam ustrijya satsu sajjeta buddhiman santa evasya chindanti mano vyasangam tibihi. Santa evasya chindanti means the sadhus, only a sadhu can cut what? Mano Vyasangam Uktibihi. So all our attachment, excessive attachment of Mano Vyasangam, and the mind's excessive attachment. 26. तथो दुस्संगम मुसृज्य सत्सु सज्जेत बुद्धिमान संत एवास्य चिंदन्ति मनो व्यसंगम उक्तिभिः. It says that an intelligent person should therefore reject all bad association and instead take up the association of saintly devotees, because whose words cut off the excessive attachment of one's mind. So only by associating with sadhus, associating with our spiritual master, hearing from Guru regularly, then they can cut our attachment. Otherwise, it is not possible. Because we have, from time immemorial, attached to the material opulences, material enjoyment in subtle or gross in so many ways. By coming in touch with the devotees, practicing, so we have given up some, but still there are so many things which we all know, which we have to give up. Otherwise, whatever material opulence we possess, all these facilities, everything will be taken away. Even if we don't give up, they will be taken away by time. So that's why we have to be in touch with the devotees. By hearing from them regularly, we can easily cut half the attachment to those affections, not affections, attachments, the material. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying in the 7th canto, 9th chapter, the Prahlad Maharaj prayers. Maybe we'll be studying this in our Sunday Bhagavatam. So 7:9:24, very nice verse. Talking about association of devotees. Tasmadamustanuvritam ahamashishogyā ayushayam vibhoma avirinchayat nechamite vilulitan varuvikramena kalatmanopanayam nijavritya parshvam. My dear Lord, I have complete experience concerning the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, and other material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities who, from Brahma down to an ant. And as powerful time, you destroy them all. Therefore, because Krishna also says, I am Kalosmi, Bharatarshava. So therefore, because of my experience, so Prahlad Maharaj is telling his experience, he has seen everything in his father. So all these opulences which he is enjoying, but has finished no time. I do not wish to possess them, my dear Lord. I request you. What is the request? I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotees and let me serve him as a sincere servant. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj told his father also. Give up all this material enjoyment and surrender to Vishnu, Hari, and serve Vaishnavas. This is what Prahlad Maharaj is recommending us, that we have to take association of devotees, because they only can remove that contamination or attachment which is there in our mind. So we have to take association of devotees. We have to keep ourselves. Prahlad Maharaj is requesting, Lord, keep me in the association of devotees. So our prayer also should be to the Lord is to always have the association of devotees. So otherwise we are crippled. Prabhupada is mentioning our life is crippled. So for a crippled person, they need a crutch or the stick or the wheelchair. So for us, our crutch is devotees. Sadhu's association is our stick, with which their support we can walk, otherwise we cannot. So, and also by Prabhupada mentions in that purport, by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, every intelligent man can get experience like that of Prahlad Maharaj through the historical incidents which is mentioned in whole Bhagavatam. It is filled with that great literature of spiritual knowledge. So by following his steps, so what is the experience we get? Practical experience, that how the material opulences one should gain through the experience that all the material opulence is perishable at every moment, any moment. So even this body for which we try to acquire so many sensual pleasures will perish, because these are all avatsava vastu, the temporary things. So we should concentrate on the vastava vastu, which is the soul. Na hanyate hanyamane sarira, Prabhupada has mentioned. So for that vastava vastu, so that is the soul, the real thing is uh, being in touch with that vastava vastu or the devotees, Krishna, through his devotees. Then only we can save ourselves by taking shelter of the pure devotees. Narottam Das Thakur says also, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payechekeba. That means only by serving Vaishnavas we can get free from the clutches of Maya. So without that, without association of devotees, it is difficult to get free from Maya's clutch. So whether we want a clutch of a devotee or Maya's clutch, we have to decide. So that is in our hand. So because Maya is Krishna's telling in Bhagavad Gita, that is Daivihi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. So Maya is unconquerable actually. She's aparajita. Maya also is mentioned in the scriptures. Aparajita, that means unconquerable. Only by taking shelter of the Lord and his devotees can one win over. Jaya, victory over Maya is only by taking shelter of the devotees. Otherwise, if we keep ourselves away from the Lord and his devotees, then it is very difficult. Otherwise, because uh, Lord Kapila says that association with the Lord, there is no difference between association of the Lord and devotees, because if you are associating with the Lord, you are associating with the devotees. If you are associating with the devotees, we are associating with the Lord. So that famous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-25 says, Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavantirutkarna rasayana katha tadjoshinadapi apavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. In that purport, Prabhupada mentions that association with the devotees means association with the Lord. 3:25-25. So the very nice verse. Prabhupada says here. Association with the devotees is association with the Lord, somewhere says in this purport. So association with the devotees is very important in our life. Otherwise, if we don't get associated with the devotees, hear from them, it will be difficult for us to get free from the get taste. One is detachment, but the other side is actually the attachment to Vastava Vastu or the devotional services. Attachment will not come unless we associate with the devotees who all having such attachment to the Lord, because it is contagious. The just like it is said a person who associates with uh, Visha, that is, a person who is associating with women uh, compared to a person who is associating with a person who is attached to women. Person who is attached to women, his association is more dangerous than directly associating with the women. Similarly, we may associate with the Lord, but if we associate with the devotees who are attached to the Lord, so that association is more contagious. The effect is more powerful. Immediately one get affected by that. So that's why association of devotees is. So that's what is the purpose of temple. That is what the purpose of satsanga. Uh, when we come, devotees come together and discuss. Take association means here making Krishna the center, center of our life. So that is the common thing in any ashram. So that is what the purpose of life also. Becoming servant of the Lord in whatever ashram one is situated. The purpose of life is to achieve Krishna Prema. That's what we recite every day at the end of Sikshashtakam. Desired goal is to Krishna Prema. So, of course, there is a detachment mentioned in this verse. So, detachment, the purpose of detachment is to be attached to the Lord and the devotees and the devotional practices or devotional service, devotional engagements. To the degree we become attached to Krishna or the devotees, to that genuinely we can become detached from the pleasures of this world or the material attachments. Otherwise, uh, Krishna says, if you are attached to many things in this world, bahushaha ki bahushaka ki anantascha buddhaya vyavasayana. So our mind becomes diverted in many branches, looking for different pleasures in this world. Otherwise, always we have no obstacles in this world, despite whatever ashrams one is in. So here Prabhupada is talking about the devotees in Grihastha ashram. So it's not only the problem is there in Grihastha ashram. So there is a problem in all ashramas, because the definition, the word meaning ashrama, shrama means the hard struggle or endeavor. Ashrama means various kinds of struggle is there. So that is what is the meaning of word ashrama. So that's why Krishna has created this varnashrama system, wherein one can be situated just like crocodile, which is in the water, deep in the water, can get nourishment. So one takes that particular platform ashram and get nourished, keeping Krishna in the center. So the whole purpose of varnashrama is to keep Daivi varnashrama is keeping Krishna in the center, whether it's a grihastha life, brahmachari life, vanaprastha life, or the ashram, brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, sannyasa ashram. Krishna has to be in the center. Otherwise, so then we can see if we can, we all have experience in our life, whatever ashram we are in. If Krishna is not center of our activities in life, so we have seen that so our mind is not peaceful, and we have a different thought process, the consciousness deviations. We become disinterested in Krishna consciousness, and interested. The material desires will come up, and fights, the encumbrances, the difficulties, tough situations in life will pop up in whichever ashram one is. And here it is mentioned about Grace ashram. So if Krishna is not the center, so we see that just being in that ashram, especially the Grace ashram, what I have seen, my experiences also is that hearing from my friends, devotees, that just the chemistry of two personalities, men and women, living is so difficult situation that it doesn't match always. Initially, it may be nice, but after some time, one devotee was telling me, my friend, my college friend, devotee, he was telling that it's after some time you just tolerate each other and go on. That's all. Because if Krishna is not center, it becomes very, very difficult, especially even in the devotee's life. So we have to bring back Krishna, center of our home. Otherwise, we have like, of course, there are many difficulties. I'm not going to go into those details. Like children, they, especially when they come up to teenage, so difficult. And uh, when they come to teenage, their scores, the school scores get, it will start get reduced. So that also will become a problem. So many problems, children education, the office job, relatives, so many obligations that we need to go. So it is so difficult for devotees in Grihasthashram. They have to manage so many things, balance so many things. This side we have to give time to devotees also, temple services, and the other side there are relatives, family. We have to give time. There are so many marriages come in this month, June, May, June, July. They have to attend. So many things. So difficult it is. So great that devotees, despite all those things, they keep themselves Krishna conscious, coming to temple, serving, taking up services, actively participating in preaching activities, different services in temple, deity services, cooking, and so many other services. But when we keep like that, our life center of Krishna, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur he mentions in that Suddha Bhakata Charana Renu भजन जे दिने जे दिने गृहे भजन देखी गृहे ते गोलोक पाया चरण सीधु देखिया बाजा सुख सा सीमा पाया. So he is saying that when he sees in home the devote his family members chanting bhajana deki, the singing, so he feels like home is like a goloka. So it would be so nice if our homes also becomes like that. Now our ashramas, respective ashramas, is like that. Devotees who are living in the temple, so if they see their ashram life or the temple filled with such thing, and also the devotees in home also keep Krishna in center, and everybody participating in that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it doesn't mean it is not that he was not having difficulty. He also having difficulty. Means he had 10 children to raise, and some children were his children also were not. Some did not become devotee also. So they were not sometimes not studying also. So difficulties were there in his life also, but we see that he has kept Krishna in the center always. So we have to ask ourselves in our respective ashram. So how much of time in a day or whatever we bring Krishna in the center. The difficulty is there in Brahmachari ashram also, just like any other ashram. So it is not that one can escape this. As long as we are in this material world, problems are going to be there. So we have to tell the problem that we have Krishna, bring Krishna. Krishna will take care of it. So how is that possible? Prabhupada says, keeping our respective ashram, the spiritual culture in the first canto, son of Drona punished. So there in one of the initial purpose, Prabhupada mentions, an ashram is a place where spiritual culture is always the foremost thing. It doesn't matter whether that place belongs to a householder or a mendicant. So that means spiritual culture is the foremost in any particular ashram. So it does not matter one is a gresta or a renounced order. So that's how the whole varnashram system is designed. Spiritual culture is the foremost common factor in all the ashramas. Whether one is a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, all belongs to the same common mission in life, that is realization of Krishna or becoming a devotee of Krishna or develop love for Krishna. So one cannot say that no, it is not possible. So we have so many responsibilities and so sometimes it is observed that devotees giving excuses to not to keep bring Krishna in the center, saying so many other responsibilities sometimes, office, relatives, or family, what are responsibilities. Definitely we have to take care, but we have to have time for Krishna also. I have seen sometimes, I heard some devotees saying that now the children, they are telling that now your 8th, 9th standard or 7th standard is coming. Now you have to focus more in studies. So reduce your chanting. This is if we only don't have faith in the process, so how will the children in the family members in our home or particular ashram will develop faith in the process? So we have to encourage. So we have to encourage whatever they are practicing and take them to the next level. So it is possible while chanting also the boys or the children in the family can study well. That is possible. So similarly, brahmacharis also. So it is not just a rubber stamp. Brahmachari is not a ashram is not a rubber stamp just by wearing the color of dress that okay now I have become, but I don't have to do all my regulated sadhana or services. So it doesn't happen like that. So one has to consciously endeavor to put oneself in the association of devotees and bringing Krishna in our day-to-day life. And also we can relate to this purport which is actually time is less. So, but the important thing in this purport is one more thing. Prabhupada is saying that devotees have, despite their knowledge, they have sufficient knowledge, and like crocodile, Prabhupada is comparing. So they have the capacity to go out. They are so powerful. They can go out and preach, just like a powerful person like Prabhupada did. So he was like a powerful personality going and preaching and making everybody, nourishing everybody, Prabhupada himself, making them devotees. So we have every of one of our who we are in whatever particular ashram is like a ocean of oasis water, and this whole material world is compared to the desert. So that's what Prabhupada saw, that whole world is suffering in the desert without water. That means without Krishna. And Krishna has designed this Chaturvanya Maya system, or Prabhupada has given this process of Krishna consciousness in ISKCON for us, that all our ashramas are like a great oasis with such a pure water, which can only nourish our own consciousness and also to the people in this world. So, as a powerful crocodile, as a powerful preacher, so our strength is we take shelter of the deep waters by regularly studying and keeping ourselves equipped, and also like this oasis. Take this water. So we are in the deep water. Take that water to the whole world where there is a need. The people are and getting dried up in the desert without water. That means divide of Krishna consciousness. So by taking to preaching engagements, that's what is here in this purport. I would, as a vanaprastha or sannyas, the renounced order is for preaching purpose. Otherwise, there is no need. So devotees take out time, whatever particular ashram we are in, for preaching, cultivating. It could be mass preaching, it could be whatever our capacity, one-on-one, or the neighbors, just giving them, nourishing them, giving them. Same time, we should also take nourishment, coming to the temple regularly, take association with devotees, and also giving it out. So we have to be, because that is what is Prabhupada's mood and mission. Preaching is the essence. Preaching is the life. Preaching mission. So we have to go out to the desert and give water to the people. They may be apparently looking very nice, happy, but they don't know that that happiness will be taken away in no time, just like Prahlad Maharaj is mentioning here. So we have to fill our pot regularly in the association of devotees and take that pot out and distribute it by preaching. So this is the purpose of vanaprastha life or sannyas life or renounced life, is for preaching. So when we take up, so everybody's Prabhupada says, who can preach? Prabhupada says, anybody can preach. Everybody can preach. Prabhupada says, just tell them, make them chant, give them holy name. So that way also we can preach. So I would like to conclude here. So we have begun this verse, important, very nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, talking about devotees need to take shelter of the Lord, the Vastava Vastu. Being in this, whatever particular ashram, especially here, the household life, they have the power to go out and distribute this oasis, giving Krishna to everybody. In the purport we saw how it is important for us in this world to be free from the attachment to the material facilities or the opulences, because that will be taken away, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, at any time. So that's why he's requesting, put us in the association of devotees, put me in the association of devotees, keep me in the association of devotees. So in that association, because association of devotees can only cut the attachment which is there in our mind to the material pleasures. Chindanti, Satsu Chindanti, we saw that verse from 11th canto. And that way only we can overcome Maya, because Maya is very powerful, otherwise Maya is aparajita. So we have to take shelter of Lord. So Maya's clutches, we can get rid of that clutches by taking clutches of devotees. Satam prasangam mamavirya samvida, we saw that. So in that way, we take association, and then especially the devotees, we have to go out and give this Krishna consciousness to the people of this world. So that way we can develop that compassion, and also we will also not be affected by this contamination of this material world. By regularly taking nourishment, keeping Krishna in the center, and giving out Krishna to everybody. Hare Krishna. I would like to pause here. If devotees have any comments to offer, I'd be grateful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, can you tell about the story of Kailash? We have not heard about it briefly.
Really? So time is actually up. I don't. So Kailash story is, I think many devotees might be knowing. So in essence, it is that he was attached to his home, his children, to his land, everything. So Narada Muni took a compassion on him. Even in the old age, he was not ready to give up. So Narada Muni came and told him that no, you give up. You have become old man now. So at least take shelter of Krishna. So he said, no, no. If first he said that I am a young man, I just married now. How can I come? So when Narada Muni approached him when he was young, then after that event, he said, no, I just had a children just now. How can I give up? So once they become old enough to take care of the family, everything. So I will renounce. I will take shelter of Krishna. Then he said, after Narada Muni came, when the children were grown up and they're married, he said, no, no, just now my grandchildren have born. So my sons have gone to the field to take care. Daughter-in-laws are busy there. So nobody is there. I only have to take care of the children, my grandchildren. So now I will come later after my grandchildren. So in that way, he became very old and then he died. So after death also he took, because he was attached to home, so he became I think a dog or snake. He became a snake because he was attached to his house, the family members. He want to protect them. He saw that he became a snake, and then he was he was protecting his the grains where it is stored. Uh, so Narada Muni came when he was a snake. He told, so now you became a snake. At least now you renounce. You are already dead. He said, no, no, no. My sons are careless. That no, they have got so much money. They are busy and they are not taking care of the grain storage that many people are coming and stealing. So I am guarding the grain storage. Where becoming a snake there. So Narada Muni thought how horrible this life is, attachment, that even after becoming a snake, he is not ready to give up. So he told, okay. So Narada Muni went to his sons and grandsons, told, actually, there is a big snake in your godown in the grain store. You go and kill, otherwise, that snake will kill you. So the sons and grandsons, they took a stick and came to that godown and killed the snake. So at last, Narada Muni had to take such a step to get him out of that attachment. So that is what the power of attachment. Even after going to the next life, one will not be uh, give up that attachment. So that is the story. So Narada Muni says that one keeps postponing surrendering to Krishna, giving so many excuses in this world, because despite all these excuses, time will take away one from this world of all the attachments. So we'll be separated. So to narrate that, to emphasize that, not postponing our our detachment, attachment to Krishna and detachment from the material enjoyment. So this story is narrated. Hare Krishna.
It comes in some canto of Bhagavatam, Prabhu? Or?
No. It is Prabhupada tells this story. I don't remember where. It's Prabhupada mentions one of the purport, but not in the sloka.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for telling the story. Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thanks for the nice class, Prabhu. I got two doubts while hearing the lecture. Yes. I don't know whether time is there or not, Prabhu.
The devotees who need to leave can leave.
Can I ask, Prabhu?
Yes, Manoj.
Now, Prabhu, like yesterday also I was reading some books, and today also, like every now and then they say, take shelter of super soul, even though it is only partial representation. And then they say, take shelter of Bhagavan. Should we take both as the same, or why they confuse like that, Prabhu?
Yeah, so because there are different the personality, the practitioners who are looking for. So somebody is looking for the yogis was Paramatmavadis. They are looking for them. The goal is Paramatma. And the devotees who are actually in the bhakti process, for them Bhagavan aspect is the supreme. And those who are looking for impersonal, for them, the Brahman is the supreme object for them. So so for us, we need to understand that it is the Bhagavan,
It is Bhagavan.
the personal aspect of the Lord. And there is no, of course, like Brahmajyoti is there, and Lord as a Supreme Lord as a Bhagavan in different Vaikuntha planets, but there is no Paramatma planet. So the people who look for Paramatma or go as Paramatma, so they will either go to the Vaikuntha planet or the personal aspect at the end, or they may have an impersonal concern, they may go to Brahmajyoti also. So in
it's
general, they go to
interchangeably used.
Sorry?
Prabhu, interchangeably used.
Means it depends on that person's inclination after he achieves that, Paramatma realization. So he may, either way he may choose, but there is no particular Paramatma look.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And another one regarding Varnashrama Dharma, Prabhu.
Bhagavatam class, they were telling about Bhagavan Ishwaro Hari.
Sorry, I couldn't hear much.
Bhagavan Ishwaro Harihi, three forms.
Hmm.
Those who are aspiring mukti, they will pray to the Hari. And those who have some like desires, I want this or then, they will pray to Ishwara Hari because he's the controller. But though actually we have to pray to Bhagavan. He is the ultimate, no, Prabhu. Like that it was explained because we started with the second canto. So they were discussing about these three forms. Who will pray for what? They were just explaining.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Prabhu, another one is regarding Varnashrama, and you also mentioned Daivi Varnashrama. Ordinary Varnashrama itself, there must be Lord, no, Prabhu, to reach the goal of our occupational duty. So what is this Daivi Varnashrama, Prabhu? More devotional service or what,
Yeah,
Prabhu?
so in normal Varnashrama, Krishna consciousness is not the center. Krishna is not the center. So there it is a gradual process. One follows, the main focus is Varnashrama duties there. Means according to one's psychophysical nature, and these ashrama duties are very important. But in Daiva Varnashrama, it is Krishna is the center. So all of our Varnashrama activities. So there in normal Varnashrama, it is not. So that is like mode of goodness life. Normal Varnashrama is one who follows. But this is pure goodness.
Okay, it will just take you to Bhakti, normal Varnashrama.
Normal Varnashrama will make you facility like a air, it is purposes that it's like a stepping board, or it can be like a runway to take to Krishna consciousness. It can make you only the facility. From there you can take. It will bring up to that goodness, which is very easy. From there you can take to Krishna consciousness. But Daiva Varnashrama is from beginning, it is Krishna is there in all aspects.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I understood today. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Dandavat.
Sorry. Krishna
Yeah, go
Prabhu,
ahead, Prasadesha Prabhu.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Prabhuji, I think Prasadesha Prabhu was asking a question.
Yes, Prashadesha Prabhu.
do you have time for me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for wonderful nectar. Just throughout the lecture, you were mentioning a take association. What do you mean by take association?
Take association means serve in that association. So we come together, I already mentioned. Taking association means in that association, what we do, yes, I gave that. When we invite devotees in the home or when you come to temple, so Prabhupada says that association means hearing about the Lord. Krishna also says that Yatra gayanti madbhaktaha tatra tishtami narada. So association means we hear and we serve the devotees in that association, serve the Lord. So it's a hearing and serving. So hearing about the Lord and serving the Lord and devotees. So that is association. Otherwise, what associations? So there is, of course, there is some physical, but even with the spiritual master also, it is association means we hear. We hear because so that is what is will nourish. I mean, hearing about Krishna in that association. So association means hearing about the Lord and serving the devotees.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Karunamurthy Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you for a very nice class, Prabhu. I have one question.
Yes.
A follow-up question on what Mataji has asked.
Yes.
I think the yogis, they meditate on the four-handed form of the Lord, who is situated in the region of the heart, right, Prabhuji?
Yes.
And that is typically, I heard it is Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who is actually, entering to the heart of all living entities.
Yes.
So yogis actually, they worship on the personal form of the Lord, right, Prabhu, through the form of meditation. So they will be reaching the Vaikuntha Loka, no, Prabhuji, how, they will take Brahma Jyoti, Prabhuji, because they actually worship that four-handed form.
Yes. So it is mentioned. I searched this aspect because recently somebody asked me this question: where will the Paramatma, the devotees who, who like yogis, so what is their destination? Who is meditating on Paramatma? Because there is no mention of anywhere Paramatma Loka. And in general, they go to this Kshirashagara, where Vaikuntha, where Lord is there within this universe, these yogis. And from there, so again, there is, so such people, if they have more inclination towards the personal aspect of the Lord and rendering services, because it's a meditation again. But those who have more inclination towards services, they'll go to Vaikuntha. And those who have more inclination towards just meditation, some people, some jivas, they enter the Brahmajyoti, also it is mentioned. So their inclination is not much about services. So in general, they go to Vaikuntha planets after this annihilation of this universe. So those who are in that Vaikuntha within this material universe, so they will go back to the Vaikuntha of the spiritual world after annihilation of this. So that is what is I read it.
But Kshirodaksha is not in the material world, no, Prabhuji, is actually beyond the material world, right?
No, in this where it is, where no. Kshirosagra is where Brahmas within this universe, they go to Lord when there is a problem in this universe, where they offer prayers and the Lord that is within this universe. That's where Duras Muni also went, the Vaikuntha within this universe.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. I know you are very, very busy. Despite your
Hare
busy
Krishna,
schedule,
Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. Only one small question, Prabhu. What Mataji asked, that Daivi Varnashrama and then just Varnashrama. So whatever we are all doing is Varnashrama or Daivi Varnashrama, Prabhu. We are keeping Krishna in the center.
Yes. So we are by default we are following Daivi Varnashrama, but may not be full extent because we still there is a discussion going on within ISKCON, but we are actually following in one sense Daivi Varnashrama, but whatever Prabhupada has given, that process, which is our daily schedule of our programs and whatever devotees follow in the home or a temple. So that is, it is not fully implemented, where the ashrama level, at least, that is not fully, or the varna, I would say, is not fully established. Still, devotees are working on. But what we are doing is actually beyond varnashrama, that is pure devotional service, which is ultimately we have to give up that varnashrama also later. But we are following the process, which is pure devotional service, which is ideally not much dependent on any of material aspects. It doesn't depend on which varna or ashrama, because the pure devotional service bhakti is independent of any of this material things. So in Varnashrama, Daiva Varnashrama, we are bringing Krishna as the center of all our activities in that Varnashrama. So that is only we are doing. So that's what I was mentioning. We have to bring Krishna in the center of all our activities. So in one way we are practicing, but ideally we are practicing pure devotional service, which is beyond any kind of Varnashrama.
But the highest.
Yes, is the highest.
And
Because
50 years we are supposed to retire and go take up Vanaprastha. No, none of us are doing that. No problem.
Yeah. So best way to do that Vanaprastha is, which I mentioned, is that the Vanaprastha means that maximum, we are not giving time for earning money. So we are giving maximum time of our day, our life, for Krishna consciousness. One is for filling our pot, that is nourishing ourselves, and going out and preaching. So best thing can be done in Vanaprastha is that go out and preach and guide devotees, because the devotees in Grihastha Ashram, they have very good experience in family life. They can guide the new devotees, getting married, new couples, train them, preach. So this is, if we stay in the home and maximum time utilized for Krishna by coming, serving in the temple and going out and preaching, or whatever way, engaged fully in Krishna consciousness, maximum time, that is, I would consider practical in this current situation. So when we have facilities created for such devotees to come and stay in temple, that may be possible, that may be it may take some time, but right now what devotees can do is that, as after 50 years they have to minimize their time for the money earning and maximize their time for Krishna. So that would be, at one point we have to give full time to Krishna. So that is what is renunciation, or vanaprastha, the practical thing is possible.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the very bit clear clarification. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat, Prabhu.
Okay, pause here. It's already time. Shankar Shantai, bro, thank you for giving me opportunity so I could study because of you. Be in touch with this Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your time, despite your busy schedule.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, will end the class with Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya. Pasindubhyaya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Kanantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. The Gaurav Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, devotees. Tomorrow we will have class in the temple at 8:30.